just an awareness that as I was getting older, things that I took for granted, like health and fitness, weren't the way they used to be.
I honestly felt like the world needs something that's not so taxing and so stressful in a busy, stressful life, and it needs something that's going to replenish us and something just very grounding, meditative, and just functional.
I came along to Qifit course because a colleague of mine said that it'd be really good holistic practice to learn about. So I just came completely empty, didn't know anything about it because I just trusted because she'd got me through really bad trauma before, so I just went with the flow. And actually that's what Qifit does teach you, how to go with the flow.
I'm in my 70s now, and if I want to have a productive life, I've got to look after my health. So I was looking at ways, not necessarily to be as fit and active as I used to be, but just to maintain the level of fitness I had and perhaps improve in certain areas.
So I picture a lot of warriors, but peaceful warriors, and I think that's something we need in our time.
As my interest is in energy healing, I looked at Qigong as an addition and something that could help my practice.
I came to the workshop because on her recommendation, and I'd said about the trauma. That was horrific workplace bullying that went on for a lot of years, and so I didn't have any resilience or capacity to cope with that, as it just kept on going and going and grinding me down.
And I have seen a lot of other modalities that I tried, but they didn't really help me. In fact, in some cases they exacerbated the problem. For example, a bad back. Yoga didn't really help me with my back.
To have that peaceful warrior aspect where we're not using it as an ego, but coming from our hearts, but overcoming limitations and strength, and gaining wisdom and knowledge through the practice.
Compared to where I was at the beginning, it's like a whole different level, a whole different layer.
I was at a stage of quite a lot of stress and anxiety, and trying to gain knowledge of where I want my life to go, and physically as well. And I could see that Qigong would benefit me in pretty much every dimension of my life.
Somehow or other through the course that's less emotionally traumatizing to talk about some of those things. Even then I just said that's what it was, but I didn't get the trauma immediate response as what I've had sometimes in the past when I go to talk about it and get that immediate re-triggering. So that's really beneficial to be able to process it and understand it happened, but not get caught up into it so much.
I could see it would benefit me physically, emotionally, mentally and spiritually, and it just drew me straight towards it. There was something about it. It was just, I could see it being simple but yet very mindful, and it would just help me evolve.
And after only 2 days of this course, I told you this was really personal, my husband said that my posture had improved significantly. That was after 2 years of going weekly to a chiropractor. So I feel as though I'm becoming a different person, and I've got the tools to keep going.
Nick's course was so demystifying and just had so much information, but practical information that we could just use straight away.
I learned about life. I learned about simple things that we should be doing that I wish I'd known years ago.
It's good fun. Nick's a really good educator, and that really shows because he explains well, he demonstrates well, he picks up on the individual little things that you might need at a certain time or someone else might need at a certain time. He goes backwards over things so that you can learn it forwards and backwards so that it all fits so that it all fits in.
The videos are set out as if you're in a class with Nick.
He answers any questions. He's got wonderful stories that really help embed everything into what he's teaching as well. So yeah, really excellent educator and person.
All I can think about is how I feel now. How I feel now is I am supercharged to practice every day. I've never had that. I've always seen keeping fit as a chore, but to have a feeling that there is something that I can do and I want to do it. I'm looking at the computer, looking at the video and practicing and loving it every minute of it. I love it. I love doing it.
I feel like Nick's been really good because he's shown every level, but slowly. He hasn't overdeveloped us too quickly, and he's also made time for every individual to benefit and make slow corrections, so that we're not progressing with faulty mechanisms and postures.
It's like the first few days everything would be like seized up and I didn't have a way to unkink it so much, but now I can just put the energy into it and it'll settle much quicker and easier. I had screaming little muscles before.
There was a lot of information, and that's what I liked. It was technical to a certain extent, but when you have a teacher who brings it to life and relates stories about it, you can conceptualize things that are really difficult to understand. It was structured in a way that you could easily understand it. So, for example, explained a few things and then it took each thing out and explained it individually.
Yeah, the content was good. Yeah. Having a proper course so that you actually know what you haven't learned, and having books that you can go back to and refresh and review, that is actually really valuable for the long term to keep you on track and on the path.
Yes, Nick's course has blown my mind. It's been really a week of transformation. Just the wisdom that's within it has really helped me overcome my own mental boundaries. In so many aspects, I can just see the practice and the theory benefiting throughout my whole life. It's just has that sort of element to it.
You get personalized treatment and you get adjustments that make things easier. It doesn't matter how many people are in the class, Nick notices things.
I didn't actually have very many expectations when I came to the course, because I was just like, okay, I'm just going to go with the flow, but it's far exceeded what I would have expected. The actual learning and training and embedding's really valuable.
And if you're looking at a video with Nick on it and you've seen, yes, he's capable, but you're not sure, speak to Nick and you'll know. I knew the minute I spoke to him, the way he spoke to me, I knew I would be looked after. I knew he was the real deal, he's authentic, and this is the right one for you.
I would say to someone who was thinking about going to this course to just jump into it, because you only live once, and the knowledge that you're going to get and the wisdom is something that's going to grow in your life forever. And there's just go for it.
A process for going away to take with me. Beautiful healing and energy and connections.
Yeah, I think this course would benefit Western exercise tremendously, where we all believe that adrenaline and heavy weights and things like that, but they're very overtaxing. From my own experience, we get a lot of injuries, stress-related problems, hormonal dysfunction, and this will just help regather people so that they can exercise, get healthier, without overburdening their system, and they don't have to injure themselves.
I saw one exercise that is like being in heaven. I started doing it, and it was like deep meditation, and everything that Nick told us that could happen to our bodies, I believed it at that moment. I was really in the moment. So Qigong, yes, it's lovely. The medicine behind it and the theory behind it is fantastic for me, but the teacher was what I needed, and I don't think we could have got a better teacher for this course.
To keep that beautiful feeling that we gained in the course, just to keep that perpetuating and ongoing. Different tools that I can keep on using in the future.
Yes, I would like to continue with Nick and help to progress my own practice, and yeah, I definitely would.
What I'm looking for at my age is someone who knows his stuff, and he's definitely got great depth of knowledge there, but also has a way of presenting it that that encourages you, and is not judgmental. He's got a very gentle way of, and I knew that from the very first moment I spoke to him, that he would be caring and be aware of my inability.
Yeah, I hope that Nick continues with his work, because what he's doing is really evolutionary, and I think his energy throughout it has been so capturing that it's going to draw a lot more people to it.
After a couple of minutes with Nick, I knew I was in the right place, and I've never felt so good. I really feel great.
Someone was sitting on the fence, not sure, I'd say go for it. You're already thinking about it. You'll have fun no matter what.
No, I wouldn't say it met my expectations at all. I would say it exceeded them. I started out going, oh, I hope I'm good enough. I don't know if I can do this, and I know I can do it. The day I said yes, I'm coming, was probably, all right, this is going to sound over the top. It was life changing.